Hi, Kim. Oh, hang on. Don't know if I've got my volume up. There we go. I think it's up now. Okay. Let's just give it a little minute. Okay, so hi there. I'm Casey Christensen. I'm a Stampin Up demonstrator, independent Stampin Up demonstrator in West Kelowna, BC, where it's currently, well, it's like summer here today. So it's absolutely gorgeous, and I'm really enjoying this weather. Starts off cold in the morning. When I get up in the morning, I put on a hoodie and headed out to work and thought, oh my gosh, I should have put a jacket on. But no, it's actually quite nice. If it looks like I'm doing my live in my pajamas, I am. You know, it was one of those days at work where I just felt like I needed to come home, put my PJs on. I got brand new PJs, so figured I may as well put them on and be comfy to do my live. So today I want to play with a card that I fell absolutely in love with on Pinterest by Stampin Hoot. I follow her. She's lots of fun. She does beautiful, beautiful cards. And there's a couple things in this card that I have not done before, so I thought it might be fun. We're winging it. I thought it might be fun to try it with you. So here goes. We're going to use the Mistletoe Magic bundle, and that's on page 15 of the mini catalog here. And it's a gorgeous, gorgeous set. You've got 4 different sentiments. I love the Merry Christmas. It's just a really classic font, a nice Merry Christmas font. And we're going to use one of these. Haven't quite decided which one yet. We're going to use one of these other ones. May the miracle of this season bring peace. Christmas blessings to you and yours. May your heart be filled with the joy of the season. They're all appropriate, right? They're all just, they're perfect. So we're going to use this stamp set. Are we going to use this stamp set? Yeah, we're just going to use the sentiments. That's all we're going to use is the sentiments from the stamp set. So there we go. We got some lovely stamps there. And then what we are going to do is we're going to use the dies, because I think these dies are pretty awesome. So we're going to play with some of these today. So let me show you. Look at the dies. They're amazing. You get a couple of sets of, they're holly berries. 3 different sizes of holly berries. You get the die cuts to cut this out and to cut the bows out. And then you get an individual little bow, which is what we're going to use today. So we're going to play with dies more than the stamp set, but we will use the sentiments from the stamp set. So let's get started. Let me tell you what I've gotten ready so far, because we're winging, and I thought it would be a good idea if I was at least a little teeny tiny bit prepared. We're going to make a slimline card today. So I'm using the white shimmery paper. I just got mine in the mail. Shimmery White cardstock, right? So that's what I'm using. And at first I couldn't tell why it's called Shimmery White, but if you hold it under the light, I don't think you can see it, but it's got a very subtle, tiny shimmer to it. Only one side has the shimmer, so be aware of that when you're making your cards, that you're getting the right side on the outside of your cards. You want that little bit of shimmer. In addition to that, so this is cut 8.5 by 7 and then folded at 3.5, and that's how we get our slimline card, right? And remember, we've got some lovely slimline envelopes too that you can buy to go with your slimline cards. So we're going to use one of those today for this card. So there's my slimline card ready, and remember, I've got my shimmery portion of it on the outside of the card, not the inside. Next, I have a piece of cherry cobbler cardstock, 3 1/4 by 8.5. Okay, 3 1/4 by 8.5. And then I've got a piece of 2.5. Nope, that's wrong. 3 by 8.5 of the Mossy Meadow. And last but not least, I've got 2.5 inches by 8.5 of the Shimmery White cardstock. Okay, so that's going to be our card layers for the front, but we're going to do some fun stuff with it that I haven't done before. But you know me, I kind of like to get all my bits ready, so we're going to carry on making bits. These are my bits that I've got ready to make the card. I'm going to carry on making some more bits that we need, because we're going to do a little bit of paper distressing, and we're going to do a little bit of watercoloring too. So I think that's kind of fun. So let's get this. I'm going to get the big guy out so I can use the magnetic plate. I know not everyone's magnetic plate is a happening thing right now, but mine is. So I'm going to use it until I can't use it anymore. So, and I've got a piece of the Shimmery White cardstock, being sure that I've got the Shimmery White side up. And we're going to cut a few things here. We're going to cut a whole bunch of stuff in Shimmery White. And then we're going to watercolor, because, you know, why not? It feels like a watercolor kind of day to me. I worked so hard at work. I got home. I was so proud of myself for what I got done. And then I just kind of fell apart. That's why the jammies. I'm in the jammies, because I'm totally relaxing. So I've got my Shimmery White cardstock here. I'm going to place it on my cutting surface. And I want to cut... For starters, I'm going to cut a couple of these, but let's put as many on as we can. So I'm going to cut one of those, and I'm going to cut, I think I'll cut one each of these, of the berries, because I think I want to have an assortment of sizes. And then I'm also going to cut a couple of bows. So let's cut those. So I've only got one die cut of the bows and one of the vine. So I'm just going to do these ones, and then I'll come back and recut some more. Oh, that's tight. Okay. I think I'm not very strong today. Oh, are you? Can you hear me though, Kim? I hope you can hear me. Am I having sound problems? Or are you having sound problems? Look at that. How cool. Okay, so this is going to have some... Who's having sound problems? So I need another one of these. Of course it hits the floor. It's that sound I don't like. Oh, you're back. Okay, so are your sound problems solved? This is all the Shimmery White. I'm going to cut a little bit more of those. Because I want these two things. And then we're going to get messy. I love getting messy. All right. These things are gorgeous. Holy smokes, they're gorgeous. All right, let's have a look at these. So I've got a whole bunch of little teeny circles. I might be regretting that decision. Maybe I just want the big ones. I don't know. Let's just see. So we've got that and that. So let's have a look at these. Okay, I want to hang on to a few of these dots that I've got here. I'm just going to punch them out and leave them sitting there. Okay, so there's some dots there. I think I want some more of the big ones. That's what I think I want. I don't know that I want to deal with those teeny guys. But we'll just see. We'll just see what happens when we start painting, okay? So then I've got a couple of bows. These bows are gorgeous, right? A couple of little bows. One, two, I thought I had another bow. There it is. I've got another bow. So two of these bows. Now I'm going to case this card right from the instructions. If you go to Stampin' Hoot and you look for these instructions, you'll see there's a tutorial. And I'm going to follow the tutorial because I'm nothing if not obedient, you know. But I think there might be other ways to do this that might make me happier, but I'm going to do it her way for now, because I can always experiment with the other ways on my own. So there we have it. Those are little bits, okay? So let's get rid of this. And I think I'm going to want a few more of those bigger dots. So I'm just going to cut some more of the bigger dots. I think those little ones might be just a little too piddly to deal with for me. So I'm going to cut some of these bigger guys. The little ones are a cute idea, but not for this particular card. So I'm going to use the bigger ones. Just make a few more. I keep saying little dots. They're actually berries, okay? They are actually berries. And maybe just one more. Let's do one more. And then we're going to paint them. We're going to watercolor them, right? So that way they can dry while we're sorting out the rest of the card. There we go. These are actually really cute. They've got a little cut in them, like a, I don't know, hard to explain, but they have a little cut in them that gives them a very realistic looking kind of a deal. We'll see how much fun they are to paint when they're that little, but it's okay. I'm willing to try. I am willing to try. Okay. So let's just put that there for now. I don't know if we're going to need this some more. And then I'm going to get out, well, I've got my sheet here so that I can make a mess. And let's put our things back, because always a good idea. Otherwise they're going to end up who knows where. These are great dies. I just love them. I love this bow. I'm going to use that over and over and over and over again. So I got two of these, two bows. I still need to use my take your pick tool and get out some of those little bits. And then there's all these berries, and we'll just see how they go. We'll just play with it and see how it goes, right? That's what you can do. Okay. Look at me working all tidy and stuff. Holy cow. That's so not like me, but what the hey. I'm going to do it. All right, so let's get ourselves a little bit of, oh, okay, so I've got my water pen here. These are the best things ever. Got some water in there, and I'm just going to do some, I got to punch these out. And I'm only using two colors. I'm using Cherry Cobbler and Mossy Meadow. So I'm going to paint all the Mossy Meadow first, and then I can clean my brush and do the Mossy Meadow, or do the Cherry Cobbler, right? So you see these little things, let me just get this out and I'll show you. Isn't this pretty? I love this. This little thing, it actually gives you the spots to put your little dots in, right? It actually gives you spots to put them. So I'm going to do my best to paint them. I'm going to play with them. That's what she did. So I'm going to play along. She does beautiful, beautiful cards, by the way. Again, it's Stampin Hoot. Her name is Stesha Bloodheart, and I follow her. She's got some really amazing things that she does. I like her color sense, and I like her sort of unique cards. So we're casing and watercoloring today. Pick these out. Okay, that's it for those. The rest are going to be red. So let's do those first, and then we can set them to dry. So I'm just going to take some Mossy Meadow ink. Now, a lot of people, and I see it a lot, where they can press on their ink pad like this and then open it up and there's ink on the inside. I can't press that hard. So I don't do that. I just do this, and it works equally as well, right? Grab myself some, oh, it's not working equally as well. Let's see. Oh, that's a little better. grab myself some ink. I keep getting my sleeves caught up on those little circles. And all we're going to do here is we're going to, for each one of these, let me just make sure my pen is clean. Give it a squeeze. And give it a little color. And we're just going to paint these little bits here. You see? Just at the top of these kind of circle things. We're just going to paint those. We're going to leave them white at the bottom, but we're just going to give them a little paint there to give them a nice mossy meadow color. And she's left a little white on the bottom, so that's what I'm doing too. You see that? Just giving it a little color there. Oh, I've missed one. I'm actually going to give it a little more color because I want it to be a little bit darker than it's coming out. And you don't have to get too fussy, right? You just give it a little color just at the tops of them. Don't worry about what it's doing on the part at the very top because we're going to add some red color to that. So there you have it. And I'm going to gather a little more and make it a little darker just at the top portion. Not all the way down like I did originally. Just at the very top. So there's the one. I think we need a little more ink. Okay. Give it a drop of water, not too much. Just giving them a little color. You can quite see the shimmer on here. I know you probably can't on the camera, but I can. I can see quite a bit of shimmer on there. It looks quite nice. I'll give that a little bit of a darker tone down here. Okay, so there's those two guys. They're ready. So now I'm going to clean off my pen because we're going to play with the red now. And I'll just clean this off. Okay. So now let's get our red ink. Actually, I'd like to use the other side of this because I'd like to have a decent amount of ink on there. There we go. And I'm just going to clean this off as good as I can. You can take this after you've done your work. You can take this and soak it a little bit, but just try and get most of color to come out. There, it's coming off pretty good now. Okay, so now we're just going to take these guys and we're just going to paint them, the whole thing, okay? Oh, I need a little more water on there. Okay. Comes off looking quite bright, but it is cherry cobbler, so. I want to give it a little more color than that. Just let me, it's a fun technique, Kim. I want it to have a little less water though, so I'm gonna maybe just put the one little drop of water on here. It's feeling a little too pink to me, and I don't want it to be pink. And then these need to dry, okay? That's better. And they're not meant to be too, you know, perfect. They're meant to have a little bit of a mottled look about them. There we go. I'm gonna add a little more there. And here's another one. And again, you can see this shimmer through the painting, so it looks quite cool. So there I have my two bows, okay? And I got my pieces. Now, I want to see if I can do this. I don't know whether it's going to be crazy or whether it's going to be really great. But I've got all these little teeny circles, and I would like to paint them. Let's just see if I can. I'm afraid they're just going to stick to the brush and, you know. But let's just see what we can do. A whole bunch of them. We're also going to use some of these cute little bells too. See these cute little bells I have? I'm going to use some of those. Can you see that? It's a cute little Christmas bell. I'm going to use some of those. So let's see what we get here if we try and... Yeah, just go for it, right? They're stuck to my brush, but I'm just shoving them off, right? Just do that. Just paint whatever you can. And we're going to let those dry while we are getting other things ready. I got a bunch of little dots there. Just make sure they're right side up. And just let those sit and dry for a bit, right? It actually has a neat effect, the fact that they are painted and not stamped. It gives them a bit of a mottled look somewhat. They're not as big a pain in the tush that I thought they were going to be. And I'm painting a couple of extras. I'm not minding that some of them are coming out a little darker than the other. I'm good with that, actually. I'm good with that. And these look like they are perfect glue dot, or not glue dot, mini dimensional sized. I'm hoping they are, because that's what I want to do. I want to dimensionalize them. And then we're going to, okay, so let's clean up this little mess. Told you we were going to make a mess, right? It's good to make a mess. Yes, you could probably. Then you have to peel them off, though. I think it's going to be better that they're just right here. And they're drying while I'm talking. And then I'll be able to peel them off. I'm not even going to try and clean my brush right now. I'm going to put it in the sink after I'm done and let it soak for a while. I always find that's how you get your best clean, is to just let it soak for a little bit, right? Okay, so I've got my little things. Okay, so now we're going to do something that I haven't done before. It makes me a little nervous, but I'm going to do it because, you know, because I'm going to. Okay, so here we've got my card. Again, this is your, let me just get my notes here. This is your 8.5 by 7, and then scored and folded at 3.5. So that's your nice slimline card, and our card's going to sit this way, right? It's going to be up and down, not side to side. And then we've got our extra pieces here, and what we're going to do is we're going to distress them. I know that sounds really scary. It sounds really scary to me too, but I'm just going to jump in and do it, okay? So let's just have a look here. So how we distress these things, oh goodness, tell me please. Okay, I'm sorry, I have to leave you for 1 second. I will be back, I promise. Here I am. I left my little scissors in my knitting bag. So I had to go run and get them. Sorry about that. Anyways, so here's what we're going to do. I haven't done this before, so it's going to be fun. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to open up our scissors, and we're literally going to just, okay, what's the right side of this? Okay, we're literally just going to do this on the edge of our cardstock to distress it. Interesting. It looks kind of cool. It does. It looks kind of cool. Okay, so we're going to do that all the way around on all our pieces. And we're just going to scrape it with our scissors, and it gives it kind of a rough look, and actually I think it looks quite cool. I don't know why it's taken me so long to try doing this. I don't know. All right, so now that I've figured out what kind of pressure to put on it, I'm going to give it a little bit more on this side, because I wasn't pushing quite hard enough. You want to push hard enough that you're giving it a kind of a worn look about it. I know that seems weird to make something look worn that we haven't even used yet, but that's the deal. So we're going to do that on all 3 of these pieces of paper, and it's a little different doing it on the, you see the, I'll show you when I put it flat out. On the cardstock, it's a little bit different doing it because it feels different than that shimmery white. The cardstock feels thicker or something, or it just feels like it wants to take to the distressing a little easier. And it leaves lots of mess. I told you we're making a mess. It's leaving lots and lots of mess. And my little Dyson vacuum kicked the bucket, so hey. All right, so that's 2 pieces. And let's do this last one. And you're doing it on all 4 sides, okay? That is pretty darn cool, I gotta say. I could get into doing this. Oops. Don't worry if it bends, because we're going to bend it anyways. I saw on her card, she's kind of got it bent a little bit on one corner. We're going to do that too, because you know what? I just love her card so much, so I want to make mine just the same. That's what I usually do, is I find a card that I love, I case it, identical to how the maker has done. And then I play with it later and decide, you know, what it is I want to do with my card to make my card a little bit different. So that looks pretty cool. That looks really cool, actually. So let's see how we're going to put this. I need to be careful of my circles because I don't want to lose them. And I shouldn't have made a big mess on top of them, but that's okay. That's okay. I did make a big mess on top of my circles. So let me just, oh, don't breathe, don't breathe. Big mess is going everywhere. Okay, let's just clean this off a little bit. Yes, it's the standard, it's our own, it's the Stampin' Up cardstock. All right, so here's our piece. Now, what we also want to do on this, on the shimmery side, is we want to make a decision as to what stamp we're going to use. This is the one she used. That might be a good one. Let's see. Let's see. And we're going to do this with, oh, where's my smaller one? Don't I have a smaller one of those? No, I guess I don't. We're going to do this. As much as I want to do it in Evening Evergreen, I'm going to stick with the plan, like I said. I'm going to stick with her plan, and I'm going to do it in Memento, okay? In the black. So, let's see. So I want this maybe like right about, oh, let's have it right side up, shall we? Right about here, I think, is a good spot. Okay. Yeah, right about there is a good spot. I'm just checking it out on my iPad to see what she's done here. And give this a really good inking. You know, I used to see people going like this and rubbing it around on their stamp. And you know what happens when you do that? Like with Memento, I like to tap, especially when it's wording, because what happens is if you push it around like this, yeah, you'll get more ink in, but you'll also get pools of ink inside the letters, like in the S and things like that. Oh yes, me too. Me too, cooking recipes. I do exactly the same. All right, so let's do this. I want to get off. I've got a little tiny little bit of black on the edge, and I want to get that off. And then let's see how we do here. We want it about this high up. May the miracle of this season bring peace. I think that's kind of perfect. Yes, it is kind of perfect. Now, I'm not gonna redo it, but I did press down too hard on my stamp, which I have a tendency to do. It's not that it's blurry, you can still read it perfectly well. I just wish it was a little lighter and more subtle, but that's okay. I'm going to work with this. That's just one of the things that I have to work on. Okay? So this piece is going on top of this piece. And then this piece is going to show on both sides. See how pretty that is? Okay, let's work on that, shall we? So let's get some stickum. Let's get some stickum. And this is going to go quite close to the edge of the green, okay? Just a little sliver of the green showing. Hardly anything at all. Okay. And then same with the red, just a little sliver is showing, and that's all, okay? Now on this, what we can do is, well, I'll do it after, okay? I'll do it after. Let's put these together, and I'll show you what I'm going to do after. And we're not happening. And I'm not using my tape all the way to the top of these pieces, okay? And you're going to see why in a second. So let's get this one down so there's just a sliver of red showing. And it's even at the top and bottom. I'm liking that. Okay, so far so good. So then what we've done here is you can take the paper and give this a little bit of a curl up, just to give it a little distressed look, right? And I see she's done it on the red one as well, just a little bit, not a lot. It's going to flatten out when it's in an envelope, but it's still going to have that distressed look, because as it opens up from the envelope, it's still going to have those curl marks in it, so it's still going to be somewhat distressed looking, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for it to look like old paper. See that? So let's build this before we put it on our card. So now I'm going to do my two little bits here. So I think these spaces here are perfect for mini dimensionals. So that's what I'm doing, because I love dimensionals and I love popping things up a little bit. And I figure since that space is a perfect space for a dimensional, they must have had that in mind. That's my thinking anyway. So I'm going to put one on each one. I want this to be good and stuck down, right? So I'm going to go ahead and put one on every one, wherever it won't show, right? Just wherever it won't show on the other side. That's funny, Kim. I've just never done any of this distressing before, but now that I've tried it, I think I'm kind of liking it. I think it looks pretty cool. I think it has a nice, especially for Christmas, right? That's what I'm kind of working on right now. I'm in a swap, so I'm working on my Christmas cards for the swap. I was very ambitious, so there's a lot of pieces in my card. But I got all my pieces done, and now I just have to make time to sit and assemble cards. That's all I need to do now. All right, so we're going to have this one hang down right about like so, I think. There we go. And then this one, we're going to do the same thing, so more dimensionals. I don't know how we're doing on time. I'm not really paying attention. But I just so much wanted to do this card. I didn't do it in advance of doing my live. I just thought, that's why I said we're winging it. I just thought I would jump in and do it. So I really don't know how long it's going to take to do. But I think we're doing okay on time. I think. Yeah, these are definitely made for dimensionals. Okay. Yeah, the more I look at it, the more I like that distressed paper. It's very cool. I've seen it done lots of times, I guess. I don't know. I just haven't gotten up the nerve to try it. Doesn't matter, that's good. It takes as long as it takes, right? You can't rush these things, for goodness sakes. So I'm going to tuck this guy underneath as if it's a continuation. right? Like so. What do you think? That looks pretty cool. Now, I don't even know if I have enough dots, but I'm going to play with them and see what happens. So, this is going to take some, I think I'm not going to use dots on the little dots because I think it's going to be better not to have too many levels. So, yeah, I might need more dots. We'll see how it goes. They're very little, these little dots. They're kind of hard to handle. I might take an alternate route here. I'm going to do all the big dots first and see how they look and see where we go from there, because I'm not quite sure. You know, you could also do embellishments like a ton, and I do mean a ton of red rhinestones, or, you know, something like that, but it would take a lot of them. Okay. Ooh, it is starting to look like something though, isn't it? Okay, maybe my tweezers would help. This is really, if I could find my tweezers. Well, so maybe my tweezers aren't gonna help. Oh, there's a big one up there. I'm just doing the big ones first. We'll fill in with the little ones where we can. Oh darn, I wish I could find my tweezers. This is definitely a job for tweezers. And I have no idea where they are. They're always in here, unless I'm looking right at them. Apparently I'm not. So I'm going to put a few little ones on, and then I'm going to leave room to maybe put some rhinestones on just for sparkle, you know. See what that looks like. It might look really cool. Yeah, I think that's kind of a good plan. Okay. Really, 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 really want to like whoever you're sending this card to, because it's some work, I'll tell you. But it's beautiful. So I'm going to just put some on. I'm going to use up all my little dots. And then I'm going to add some bling. Why not, right? When in doubt, add bling. Okay, that looks pretty cool. I do like it. Let's see what I've got for, I might have to color some rhinestones, which you know I love doing, so that's doable. There we go. Let's color some rhinestones. And that would be, what did I say it was again? Cherry Cobbler. Okay, so let's color up some of those guys. And we'll put those on. Oh, that's not going to work. Yeah, that's cute. Little extra color, you know. A little bit of bling never hurt anything. Actually, that looks really good. I'm pleased with that. Need to color some more. It's nice that you can just color your rhinestones to get whatever you want out of them, right? Or make a bunch. Why not? I think I'm going to want them in a couple of places. Like there. Yeah, I'm liking those. Oh gosh. Okay. And here. Oh, a little bit further up. Oh, flying bling. I don't know where that one is. It's probably never going to be seen again. That's a lot of rhinestones. But hey, it's a gorgeous card. And then I'm going to put a couple extras. I think I want a few extras. Well, I'm pleased with that. Do you like that? That's pretty cool. It's hard to see from where you are, but I don't know if that helps. Okay, so now we're going to put this on our card base here. And I think we're going to center it. I think that's how I feel about it anyways. I think we're going to center it on there. Yes, I think we are. I'll just open that up a little bit. And then I'm going to glue this because then I have room to move if I need to, right? Got a little more room to scooch and get it in the right place if you use the glue. So I like that it's the same size as everything else from top to bottom. So really all you have to be aware of where it's sitting side to side, because it's the same size this way, right? So you just need to measure where you're going from. Oh, it's very pretty. I like it. Do you like it? It's quite a pretty card. So then you've got your nice, I don't know what I just did with it, but you got your nice envelopes here that you can get for the slimline cards. And, oh, and also don't forget that the clearance page has been totally updated. So there's all kinds of new things on the clearance page that might interest you. You know what I want to do? I want to take like crumb cake. Do I want to take crumb cake? Maybe crumb cake? Let me see what color crumb cake looks like to me right now. Yeah, I want to take crumb cake and very carefully, and I mean very carefully, just add some color to these stems. Just a little bit, not a lot. I'm not very fussy coloring. I'm just adding some color, some ink. Yeah, I like that. Just add a little bit of brown where that would be essentially stems, I guess. It would be stems. Okay, and I may go back after and add a little bit more dots, but I didn't want to use the time for the dots right now. And then here we go. We're going to take our pretty little, I'm going to use glue for these two. We've got our pretty little bows here that we made. And I'm going to use glue. And I'm just going to put one up here, making sure that it won't interfere with getting it into a card or an envelope, right? And I'm going to put another one down here on this other stem. And I'm going to take two of my biggest rhinestones. I'm going to color those. I've got some big ones here. I need to order more rhinestones. I use them so much and I forget to keep track of what I've still got. There we go. So we're going to put a rhinestone, a big rhinestone, right in the middle of that bow. And another one in the middle of that one. And then I'm going to take just a couple of bells. I'm not going to use a lot of bells, but I'm just going to take a couple, and I'm going to use glue. And let's see if I can tuck that in without getting glue everywhere. Trying to maybe hide the little Use one there. And then maybe another one. Can't use too many bells because they're also going on my swap card. So I can't use them up. And another one tucked right in there, I think, would be good. There we go. So how cute is that? Can you see that? So I've got a couple of little bells. I've got my bows. I want to move that rhinestone. There we go. So there we have it. That was fun. I've never distressed. I hope you can see that, but it's very cool the way the paper is just a little rough along the edges on all the layers. So it looks kind of neat. I quite like it. Couple of bells, couple of bows, and there you have it. There's another Christmas card done. So I hope you enjoyed that. Go on over and have a look at the clearance rack. See if there's anything that interests you there. There's some really good stuff that just went on. And thanks, Kim. I'm pleased with it. I think it's a really pretty card. I'm probably going to send this one to my sister because she super duper appreciates the cards that I make and things, and so she would probably frame it or something like that. She's just like that. She super appreciates anything I make, which is nice. So she'll probably frame it or do something special with it. But there you have it. So that is the Mistletoe Magic set and dies, stamp set and dies. I love them. They're so much fun. I like the sentiments in here. And so that's it for me. And until next time, happy stamping, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. Bye for now.